Hey, welcome to another episode of Salisbury Anarchy. We are back after 2 weeks of break, and then we're on a break again next week, but we're here this week, and that's what matters. Let's go ahead and rip through some introductions. Let's start with Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I will be Sir Edrich of Winterbourne, Stoke, Marshal of Salisbury, and Keeper of Vagon, I think.
You're correct on Vagon. Yep, Mark.
Hello, I am Mark, aka the Cat's Meow. I play Sir Florence of Idmiston and the Baron of Axe, and sometimes his brother, Sir Rhodri.
And Liam.
Hi everybody, I play Liam. No, I am Liam, and I play Sir Virgil of Durnford, and also occasionally other characters. I am very excited to reintroduce Virgil tonight, because he's got some things on his mind.
Virgil's been playing Liam all along.
Sometimes it feels like it.
All right, we're going to dive into the drama and not worry about paperwork, because I feel like we scare new viewers off when we start with paperwork.
Exactly. That's why we do it at the end.
Let's not do that. I do want to know about your squires, and I really don't want to miss an opportunity to talk about them, but we will just simply have their squiring days for later in the year, so the ceremonies will not be held at because I'm pretty sure some of you are moving your squires into adulthood, / might have already happened.
I believe
like
so.
We haven't been able to keep up on that, but we really should, because I think that's a fun part of the game, and some of them are relatives directly of current player characters. In the meantime, though, I did some mathing, figuring out stuff, and Vagon is a 20-point. Vagon Castle specifically, which does not include the 100 of Vagon, is a 28-point estate in the new system, and the Castle of Devices, which does include a portion of land around Devices, is a 25-point estate. And we'll get to how that system works later. We got lots of time to talk about it. We might shuffle the numbers around as necessary, but I think it will be stable enough for now. It's better than guessing, I think. We're going to... I think we got all the necessities done from Winter Phase, right? There's probably some outliers with horses and stuff that we need to work through, but we'll just commit to doing that for the next session. Is that fair?
My horses all lived, but they didn't have kids, so they're living that Edrich life. However, I did have a son that we saw last thing, and I've upgraded... I have once again become exalted in my love of family, now that I've increased in glory, because I'm now a next night up. I reached 8,000 glory.
Hey, Serpentine, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
What's up?
Okay. Yeah, so I'm excited to dive in, because I feel like I was waiting for 500, and I feel like this is where Anarchy is gonna, like, phase 2 of Anarchy has just started. Phase 1, I think for Salisbury, it feels like the beginning of everything was the tourney, and then like the aftermath of the tourney, and now, and then that culminated with the siege of Devices. Now we're kind of like, what's that?
One could say that there was a post-crisis and a pre-crisis continuity here.
Yeah, that's fair. Now we're in part 2 of that, so we'll see. I'm going to start with a quick inquiry, Sir Florence. Late in the winter, it was asked of you by Prince Mark of Cornwall, the Kingdom of Cornwall, if you would be willing to pass on a sealed letter from his father to your countess in Salisbury. So it would involve you riding there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He agrees to.
All right. You are handed such letter. Do you want to do anything with that other than hand it to the countess?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it? It's a wax seal, I imagine.
It is.
In which case he would hand it to the countess.
Okay. Okay. Then you can tick honest. That
I know. I was just so tempted just to.
right? And
I
we'll
would
give
have
you-
absolutely done it.
We'll give you a tick of honor on that as well. Okay. Then we're
Actually,
going to... What?
looking at his sheet now, he has a 15 in deceitful.
It's not famous. You want to test the two
Okay.
against each other?
I think I want to test
So
because
if it were one more, if he was deceitful 60,
Yeah.
then I'd say you'd have... Well, not you have to, but you'd leave
yeah,
if you're
it'd
on
be
the
a
fence.
much more difficult.
Oh, hey!
There we go.
With honest, yeah,
Okay.
Not
forget
bad.
that.
that determines it.
Your honest goes to 6. You get 5 glory. Your deceitful goes
Indeed.
to 14.
14, and
And
I
you
get that
take
tick in honor.
Look at Florence turning over new leaves.
Holy shit!
We're gonna cut next to an early spring conversation involving Virgil and Edrich.
I'm one of those.
You are. It's involving
I'm
you.
the other one.
It's not specifically just. So this is the two of you and. Hold on. I'm messing stuff up. Let me grab this here. Make it interesting. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check and see if our Roll20 page looks okay. It does. Okay. We're gonna transition to that so people can see stuff. We're gonna use a.
Transition.
We're gonna take a quick look at the feast stuff because I need an NPC that I don't have here. So it's the two of you and Erwin. This is a meeting called for by Erwin. The two of you asking you to join him in Sarum for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't want to keep the man waiting.
Okay. So, when you get into the room, you see a crude map of Salisbury. It's various hundreds laid out. And we'll give you guys an immediate, maybe battle roll real quick. Just to see if you get a sense of...
Natural
Okay.
20.
Concerning that thing that you're asking me right now. Are we about to get ambushed, Thomas?
No, we're looking at a map.
I see.
So,
Awareness would be us being ambushed.
I think...
Ooh, the castle icons.
Yeah, I think for Thomas, Edrich immediately notices the circles and names very close to Vagon and Wareside 100, and some of which you're aware of, and kind of looking at it on a map now, it's like, ooh, that's getting worrisome. You see kind of 4 castle names that you were not. I think one of them you're aware of, Woodhouse. Aside from that, there seems to be some other markings on there. You're assuming these are some kind of rebel force of some sort.
I think Edrich immediately after clocking the map says, "You were worried about sedition and many castles being taken, I take it. Has there been an increase in number since the downfall of Loof?"
Yes. Exactly. I don't know the men that we're fighting against, but it seems someone has raised the Castle of Irontown, holding off some of the mines that were once ours to control, just north of Wareside. What's more is a new castle built in Westford, over the top of the old hill fort that was once there.
Both those territories are in Summerland, are they not? Or closer to it?
Indeed, they're in the forest gloom.
The last time I ventured there, it was to ransom back my mother, who was taken by human-shaped forces. It seems they are growing bolder. And... hold on, can I actually roll folklore? To make the iron connection, if anything? I've got a 2 in it.
That would be fairy lore.
Fairy lore. I don't have fairy lore as fairy lore at 3!
Yeah. Fairy lore is
Success!
Oh, look at that. Yep. You've heard tales of just that.
And if I am to venture into superstition, claiming the iron mines both weakens us strategically as a nation, and, should the forces of Summerland be in league with the forces of Fairy, it will mean we have less of a defense against them should they plan to push further east and south. Not that I think that is our main strategic concern. He says almost as an afterthought, like, no, my main problem isn't I want to fight fairies.
Give me an intrigue roll, both of you two, as Erwin stares at the map with you.
16.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Good job on that fairy lore.
You both.
Thank you. I didn't expect to get it.
And you both notice his eyes seem to be moving north, like heading further up on the map, and I think you see that it is very close to devices, and you see another etched out castle that neither of you've ever heard of. On it, inside is the writing alabaster. He seems to be like, he's not saying something. There's something he's keeping. It's like he's pensive and uncertain he should speak of it.
Don't worry, Virgil will solve that problem.
Yeah.
What exactly are you not telling us?
There's reports from the Wheelwell 100. The knights in the area and commoners claim a very strange tale. They say that the castle now stands where it once did not, covered in ornate bas-relief sculptures depicting blasphemous scenes.
Blasphemous?
The commoners swear that they slept overnight, and where the castle was not there the night before, it stood there as if it had always been the morning of.
Have any men of standing reported these claims as well, or is it merely rumor? Oops, sorry, someone's at the door. Be right back.
The vassals did indeed. Those knights who hold property in the land, they seem to consider the commoner's suggestion that such a feat could be done overnight to be, well, fancy. But as far as the castle now standing where it did not before, on the edge of the woods, that much seems to be true.
That's concerning.
Concerning enough for someone to look into it. It is nearby your lands, Virgil, but I fear something of this nature, of magic, must be investigated. We are under siege from multiple sides, politically, strategically, and now, it seems, spiritually.
I'll put together a team to investigate it. Whether it's magic or simply someone building fortifications for an assault, I think it's important we take it before they have an opportunity to use it against us.
And thank you for bringing this to our attention, Sir Owen. The iron mines will be necessary in the months and years to come. Already we are having a difficult time outfitting our men and knights to come, and knights to be, with proper weaponry.
You did good.
One more matter to raise. This has to do with the aftermath of devices. It seems that some of the horses fled, and they did not return through the northern border, as we suspected. We had moved men to rout them should they try and flee. Unless they went through the mountains, it appears that they must have gone south towards Abaven.
I have a question for you, Mr. Bob.
Yes?
I have a spy network in place in Salisbury for specifically this kind of thing, looking for like traders and seditionists, that kind of... Someone's at the door again, I'll be right back.
Well, that gives us your answer. No, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I also had something that I want
sorry
to ask,
about
but I
that.
have to ask Thomas.
That's my bad. But
No,
yes,
you're good.
so I do have a spy network which I am paying through the nose for. Have they heard anything about these particular splinter armies?
You've heard nothing yet. You can reach out to them specifically to put them on this point. They would have been looking more for, like you said, seditionists, like people looking to break up. Not necessarily external fleeing soldiers from a battle, if that makes sense. Now, if they showed up somewhere and started to pretend to be someone else, that they might catch wind of that, for sure.
Got you. Yeah, that's definitely something that Edrich is interested in. So he will nod and say, yes, they headed south, they will be seating themselves in there, and if they were the trusted of Sir Loof, or anything of the sort, they will be engaging in whisper campaigns and subtle acts of sabotage. But, so long as they do not make problems, they are perhaps not our priority at the moment. Guard should be doubled, though.
All right, and later on this session, we'll report back on what your findings are for that. Probably what we'll do is we'll get your spies together, have a general purpose of what their priorities are, and then if they catch anything stupid obvious, they will. But otherwise, it's like, how are you positioning them?
Yeah.
Liam, did you have something specific to add to this?
I did, but I think I'm gonna wait until after the meeting. I want to say it to what's his face, my best friend Edrich. Edrich alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Erwin has nothing else to report, other than the obvious. I think the map also includes this thing where where once the county of Jagant bordered on the forest to the southwest. Now the Kingdom of Cornwall borders on your border.
In your professional opinion, Sir Owen, what should the priority be?
I can't say I have a strong certainty, Sir Edrich. It seems like there's the threat of war on almost every side.
Yes.
I think in regards to Idris and Cornwall, you must see where the king focuses expansion, or if he's satisfied now that he's unified all of Cornwall. If he's to continue his expansion, there's only 3 places he can go. To us,
Indeed.
Summerland, or to our borders on the south.
Quite so. My conversations with Sir Florence have indicated that he will be content where he is, but I am unsure. Power has a addictive quality to it. Once you have some, you want more.
Indeed. I'll leave the two of you then. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. This is a very well done tactical and strategic analysis.
You're proving yourself to be a valuable asset to Summerlin, Erwin. No.
Summerlin?
What? Who are we? To Salisbury.
And then you stab him with a
Erwin.
knife.
Yeah. We thank you for your cooperation and your assistance. And then I stab him.
Yeah. Okay. He will bow and depart.
Edrich will turn to Sir Virgil.
Virgil's kind of tapping the table a little uncomfortably. He goes, I don't like this.
I haven't liked it for 6 years now. But what specifically are you referring to?
All of it. It's too close together. Feels coordinated, whether it is or not.
I understand the feeling. Before I took the position of Marshal, ever since the death of King Uther and the coming of this age of anarchy, I felt like a rat in a cage. We are surrounded on all sides by enemies, and they seem to grow stronger rather than weaker as the years go by. Exactly, love. But I do know what you mean when it comes to the coordination. There is wisdom to that. Sir Loof was a traitor in one way. Why not a traitor in others? Though I hope, in the name of all that is holy, the Saxons and King Idris are not coordinating with the forces of the winter.
There's something more. I feel it. The buzzing is back. It's been months since we sieged Milkfield, and
I think Edrich, as you say the buzzing is back, Edrich kind of like leans back
takes a
little.
step back. Yeah.
Just like away from a table wrestling rage.
The buzzing is back, and it's been months now since we sieged Milkfield. I can't help but feel like something is wrong. Do you think the traitor wizard might be involved? Maybe he's made a return.
Merlin, I do not believe so. There are many more forces than he in this world. And if I were fleeing Britain with everyone on my tail, I would not return for a good long while. But this new castle, these Fey incursions, there is something to them. I feel it much as you do in my bones.
Would be easier to just burn Summerlin Forest down.
I think Edrich actually, you can tell that he's like, but then he shakes his head and goes, we have enemies enough. But I'll consider it. We do need to reclaim some of our holdings. Whether or not they were ours to begin with is irrelevant. They have been taken from us, and we look weak for not returning them. When was the last time a diplomatic envoy from Summerland has been sent here, or vice versa?
I usually can't tell them apart from the other ones. The only ones I notice are the Saxon ones. Like I said, I'll put together a team and I'll look into that castle that's appeared on my borders. It should be, at the very least, something to do with a couple of weekends.
Excellent. Profane bas-reliefs, in my experience and from what I've heard, are things to be quite worried about. Bless you.
Thank you.
In any case, unless there is anything else?
No, by all means, I'll get to preparations.
Thank you. I will continue to have an existential crisis. Plan.
Okay.
We're gonna cut over to Florence for a minute here. Florence, this takes place in the castle of Tintagel, where Idris has set himself down. Well on his military campaigning. This is a small noble council of sorts. You found yourself being welcomed to the trusted amongst this crew. And the council is only 4 strong currently. It's Idris himself, his son Mark, Sir Meliodas, and yourself.
Damn.
Well, you've been effective as an instrument thus far. And I think few would have little reason to think that your loyalty to a small backwater county such as Salisbury would outweigh your new position of Baron. It makes sense that most would kind of disregard this as a potential possibility. You know, I absolutely hate stuff on Windows. I got like this Xbox invite popping up for a game I don't even own. It's Minecraft, which if I recall was at one point of vulnerability. So I get worried whenever I see someone I don't know inviting me to X.
Join me, my friend. We play Minecraft all the time.
Yeah, right?
Children yearn for the mines.
They do. It's true.
Anyways, that is true because my son still plays that every day. Anyways, tangent aside, Idris speaks up, and he says, "This is we'll say this one's like a small council after Florence's Easter feast." So, you would have been at Easter feast for this, and if there's anything you want to backdate and do before this, you can do that. But we're still zeroing in on Salisbury for any feasts and stuff.
That works.
He says, "I wanted to update that our hope for a peaceful unification with Salisbury seems to have been declined already by the Countess. We had hoped to wed my son, Mark, to the Countess's daughter, who will be shortly of age. But it seems that has not yet occurred, and that's unfortunate. And there's a look on Mark's face like he's relieved from that. Right. And Meliodas says, I think out of the three... Or no, Meliodas is the first to speak. He looks at Idris and says, then you intend to expand, my king? And Idris nods. And he says, indeed. Not so much as expand as compete. I think that this island is under threat by those that claim lineage of tyrants and Saxons. We should not let anyone who belongs to the former lineage of... I almost said Voldemort. That's how bad my brain is right now. Who am I
Well,
looking for?
no,
Vortigern.
You shall not
There
be
we go.
named.
Mortimer.
Yeah.
Yeah, not him either. Not
Yeah.
him either, to be fair.
Yeah. Any who would claim lineage to Vortigern should not be a high king here in Britain. No.
Could not agree more, my liege. Let not tainted blood such as that sit upon our throne of a great country such as Britain.
Indeed. It's why we must show strength, at least in this time. Show that we are not only capable of not being conquered, but capable of conquering those that would be vulnerable to the borders of such conquerors. And Mark looks to his father and says, Father, Salisbury, it opens the best avenue to the rest of the island. It is the most lucrative of the three. And
God, this must be what Summerlin feels like.
you could push this slight, this denial of an alliance is a threat. My spies tell me that they have failed to seek an alliance with any greater power, so they remain very much independent. And his eyes look over to Florence, kind of like studying him. Like Mark specifically, not Idris.
Yeah.
Idris says, well, it's true that Salisbury is the prize of the three. It also comes with the greatest risk. And I still hold hope that a county led by a widow might find a future in allying with a much larger power like the United Cornwall. Furthermore, I would like to establish some old truths. Sir Meliodas, once upon a time, Lyoness was considered a kingdom. You are the heir to said kingdom. We will conquest this year. When we have finished, you'll return. I will grant you the kingdom of Lyoness, so long as you remain loyal to me. And Meliodas, looks. I mean, you remember Meliodas from years ago, Florence. You've seen him from before the days where you marched on Cornwall. He was involved in some of the stuff against Octa and Iosa in the early days. He's also one of the other famous knights. I forgot to mention that part. He looks very sort of like starstruck by this concept, like something he never thought would happen, but clearly he's excited for. You know, just from knowing the man, this isn't a desire of ambition. It's about honor. It's about reclaiming something lost and important to his family. And he bows and takes a knee before Idris. And Idris just laughs and says, "You're my kin. There is no need for such formalities. At least not behind closed doors. Please rise. Please, you're making me uncomfortable. Please rise." And then Meliodas climbs back to his feet. And Idris looks to Florence and says, "So if not Salisbury, what do you propose as the more lucrative target?"
Well, it is in honesty, complicated in that matter. Dorset itself could make a good target for structuralization of independent realms. Summerland, I'm afraid, I think comes with far more complicated matters, though it could lead to many options further down the line. Well, I'm sure you yourself are familiar with the legends of the Sorcerer King.
He laughs. Legends indeed. You don't believe them, Sir Florence?
Let us say my brother, God rest his soul, once fought in the raids against Summerland in the old days. It was there they ran their way into a mist that showed them strange visions. Some believe that the meeting between the Sorcerer King and of Uther may be the reason for Uther's downfall. A curse from the Sorcerer King himself. But no, perhaps it is all fictitious lies and myths along those lines. One can't be too careful when you're dealing with powers as ancient as the lands themselves. And in truly, what resources can be gained from Summerland? That should be the question we are asking, is it not? As he turns to the others.
Ooh, I didn't expect that to happen. Okay. When you say that, Mark is quick to speak up and says, they do host a number of mines. In fact, I believe that is why Uther campaigned there in the first place.
And are they located on the outskirts or the interior of the lands?
Interior, if I recall.
There lies the issue. To conquer the resources of Summerland, one must conquer the entirety of Summerland. That would mean the removal of the Sorcerer King.
Meliodas speaks up and says, Sir Florence is right here. Uther's campaign, it would have been long and difficult if not for the peace that the Sorcerer King, this magician, he sued for peace with Uther. Many of the men had fled, and you could find them, in truth. It is as if they abandoned their county. I was looking real quick to what Thomas was waving at.
It was my mother. She brought me some lemon meringue pie that she just
Yeah.
made.
Lovely.
Upon which
That is not
Florence
the
will go. Then I think my mind is made up. Dorset.
Hey, maybe Vescom. Thanks for the description. Appreciate it. Idris looks to Meliodas, and Meliodas nods and says, I do agree with Florence on this one. His eyes look to Mark, and Mark looks to Florence, and he nods. If Salisbury is not the most appropriate option, I would agree. Dorset is our next focus. Though
Whatever decision you... Oh, God.
we should be wary that puts us on the border of the Saxons. Idris nods. I think it's best to show our strength so that the Saxons are not quick to come this way. It puts some padding between us as well. And if I recall, there is a great forest between the two. And there's a lot of nods in the room. Idris simply says, very well then. Dorset it is. we will march this summer.
Of course, my liege. We march at your command.
We shall call for mercenaries once more. All right.
As a little addendum after that scene,
Yep.
Florence would make his way home, and he would send a missive to his performers, or his troubadours that he has hired, and he would send them to Sarum to perform a play. That play is deliberately in a place where Edrich would see it, and the play is the story of the old war in Cornwall between Uther and
Hello.
Gorlo, and the play is called The Winds of Change, or The Winds Have Changed.
Okay.
And that is his way of sending a message to Edrich.
Yeah. I don't get it, but I like it. It compels me. It involves murder.
Is there a particular part of this that's so the theory I'm just trying to pick up as Bob what you're putting down. The suggestion is, Logres isn't invading Cornwall, Cornwall's invading Logres? Is that the message?
The idea is that things in Cornwall have changed. Whatever Florence has told you has changed.
Exactly. To Edric's mind, they're not content to remain in their land anymore. They will instead expand outwards. If they were going to attack Salisbury, I feel a more urgent message would have been given.
In fact,
but
it will
Edric's still paranoid.
Specifically, it'll be about the story of when Gorlo took the advantage and attacked the Logres Knights where they were waiting.
Okay, now I'm worried about that. But yes. Edric receives the message. Is there a paranoid stat?
Yes,
it's called
suspicious. Yeah.
It's called suspicious, yeah.
You want a directed trait of paranoid too?
Yeah, it won't hurt. I think with a failure on suspicious, Edric thinks, no. If they were to attack Salisbury, it would have been a more immediate kind of message. He's probably attacking one of the other neighbors that were mentioned, which is still bad, but not immediate. That said, keep the men on alert anyway.
I went back recently just looking for something else, and I came across a episode where we just decided to bump Edric's suspicion from 10 to 13. We're like, no, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does make sense that he's equally trusting and suspicious.
Yeah. Like, that makes no sense. Okay. All right. We're going to, I know it's early, but we're going to do our first little break, and then we're going to come back with an Easter feast.
Sounds good.
Let me just, So, feel free to break and do what you need to. Make it a short one, and we'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, and we are back. I think. Yep, we're good. Okay.
I feel like
so
Edric's... Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. We are back. We are starting the Easter feast. Let's put on some Easter feast music.
Edric
Easter
arrives at the
feaster.
feast. Edric arrives at the feast and sets up a line of ladders for him to sprint through as fast as possible out of spite.
I see.
I just feel like that's the vibe, you know? That's the energy we're bringing to this one.
Sprinting through ladders? Sure.
I think Edric is sprinting through a line of ladders that he's set up out of spite, yes.
Why? Do you
Something about...
explain yourself?
Well, it's bad luck to run under a ladder, right? To go underneath a ladder.
Got you. So running through it just to like in a fuck you to fate. I get it.
Yes,
I get
exactly.
It.
Just setting up a line of them and sprinting through them. Yeah.
Got it. All right. We have. Let me just check here. All right. Yes. So there are 2 special guests here. We'll start with some intrigue rolls before we start with the app.
Okay.
Intrigue. Success.
Intrigue in the app.
Oh.
This Rhodri.
What up with Rhodri? Everything
don't
he's
know.
good at, he's fumbled in.
He's having an off year. Hell yeah! Good year for him.
He's got Edward's blood. He's got
No.
Edward's blood.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I'm like, he's like. Now we know Florence is truly the illegitimate one. Other than me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Virgil's having a great time today. This is a good feast.
Yeah, you guys can roll app too. Might as well.
Nice.
I don't think Virgil even has anything that's super bothering him right now that he needs to do except for murder someone. He has to kill, but besides that, he's doing good.
Success on app. Oh, though I do get technical advantage. Also success on app.
Wow, and Rhodri's below the salt. Yeah. He
It may
is
be below the salt, but he has his enough on his own.
You really are Edward's brother.
Rhodri, do you need help?
Okay,
Always.
so just real quick.
Is he below the
those
salt or is he on the floor?
No, he's below the salt.
below the salt.
He didn't
fumble. Yeah.
No, he didn't fumble.
He fumbled the first time though, and then he takes one
That
step
was
lower than
intrigue.
what he rolled.
That was intrigue.
Different roll.
Oh, gotcha. You're right.
So for Virgil and Edrich, we'll say that Rhodri doesn't notice because he's below the salt. So he's like, is Rhodri pissed about being below the salt? What's his,
No.
What's his glory?
Pride.
Glory.
Oh, his glory is it'd be at 3,000 this year.
Yeah. That's not what should be happening in your home
No.
Easter feast. I think we need a pride test, or rather,
Okay.
if unless pride's automatically higher, your Christians is probably
It's not
yeah. So test the other one, modest. I think.
modest. Alright.
All right.
Success.
Deep breaths, serenity. Now you figure it out.
Serenity.
You choose not to take the route of Sir Perin and ask to speak to someone's manager.
Oh, I love the idea of Sir Karen.
Funny enough, in the other game we got a Sir Justin, and we named him Sir Justin to Timberlake. We went.
Always beware his gift.
Right. Might be something in that box. So we will do a feast roll. Let me restart some APIs. Because they are not working.
I had a flashback when you mentioned APIs.
I know, right? These aren't written by me, so this is just Roll20 being weird.
Indeed.
This is different than our homebrew ones that fell off all the time. Okay, let's see. There we go. So we have our feast all set up. We've got our beef marrow fritters, heraldric emblem in meat jelly. I love that one. That's my favorite.
Oh,
Meat jelly.
lovely.
Look, here's the thing. 1, yeah, I'd eat that. I'd fuck with that all day, every day. 2, that's weird, but I can kind of get it. Whole dry spices to aid in digestion. If you want me to swallow a cardamom pod by itself or chew on a cinnamon stick, you're out of your mind.
Do the cinnamon challenge right now, Thomas, to
Cinnamon
aid in
challenge.
digestion.
My digestion is fine. It doesn't
Okay.
need me to swallow
Okay, let's do this.
cumin.
We're never gonna get to
Yes.
game otherwise.
Fair
We're gonna
enough.
start
So-
with those rolls first off. So before we do anything, we haven't completed those rolls. So immediately, Virgil and Edrich, you notice the 2 guests. You recognize one from last year. The Prince of Salisbury is present again, and then I will take a heraldry roll from both of you. You can add a +8 to your heraldry test.
Oh, failure.
Okay, so we're gonna give that one to Virgil. Virgil, the other one is most obviously to you, Atheling Kinnear from Kent. So this is the first time you guys have seen a Kent representative, and that would be the Prince of. It seems like Virgil's been studying his princes at this point. His Saxon princes, which ones he's gonna kill?
Yeah.
and threaten.
He's threatened enough of them. He might as well know the rest of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fascinating that Kent's here. I hope they're not going to demand tribute from us because honestly, I'm going to fucking kill him if he does.
There we go. We're gonna give, if we can, just for 30 seconds, Edrich and Virgil, if you guys want to, because you're near the salt, if you want to discuss amongst each other in character, I just have to run and tell my daughter something before I forget.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Virgil leans over and elbows Edrich and points to Kinnear and goes, "There's one from Kent now."
Kent. Yes, I didn't recognize the heraldry, but that would be it. I've never met a Kent-related Saxon, at least not in conversation.
I am not sure how comfortable I am with him being here. You think he's vying for alliance too, or do you think he wants money?
I have not heard tell of him, or indeed Kent, being in the runnings for whatever their word is for High King. But tribute, always likely with them. They've discovered extortion to be just as lucrative as raiding.
Well, for what it's worth, he'd be a great thing. He'd be a great subject to make my buzzing go away. Just say the word.
Perhaps not during the feast, but we'll see. Thank you for letting me
Why
know.
not?
I wouldn't have identified him.
Why not? Dinner and a show. Enjoy the feast, Edrich. I'm gonna get something to drink.
You as well.
Oh shit. Maybe shouldn't have ended that conversation. So you guys want to talk more about comic books?
No, you're good. I'm back.
Oh, he's here. Okay, we're good. We made it.
Okay. I was back long ago.
You've been here the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. The gossip or buzz going around right now is there are movements of war like everywhere right now. Do you remember what was being talked about with the Saxon kings all kind of readying up? There haven't been any formal calls. It's still really early in the year for formal calls to war. But there's stirring and buzzing in Cornwall, and Cornwall is now united at the once kingdom and contested lands of Logres that were known as Cornwall are now just one Cornwall for all. And surely that won't ever, surely that will change in the future because well, we all know Cornwall's Cornwall. So
Yeah.
there are the Saxon kings, and then there's been buzzing about the kind of undisputed or unresolved conflicts between the Irish. If you remember, the king that you guys saw poisoned in front of you back in Cambria to Wales to your west. You remember the conflict there on your your feast crawl rather.
Yeah.
So they're still in dispute with Escavalon, which is Nanteleod's land, and that has yet to be resolved as well. So there's lots of theories about who's going to attack where and what, but nothing's really been confirmed or named yet.
At least we're not the only ones having problems.
Absolutely. There is plenty. And by the way, there is something you guys might have heard. There are Saxon leaders again in Naught and Dira, where Akron were.
How many times must we teach them this lesson?
All right. So, with all of that, we're gonna go into the actual 3-round feast. And we'll start with you, Edrich.
Edrich doesn't have a particular mission at the moment. Nothing he can do in his official capacity. He's curious about the Saxons, but I think I would like to draw a card. Do I have to do anything special now that I've got 8,000 glory?
8,000?
Yeah.
Does that put you in
4
famous?
cards.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think
4
famous,
cards?
Famous is 4, yeah.
All right. Be ready for a host card. So we got Who Are You? We got Mercy, my lord. We got Keep Dancing. And we got More Food. No host cards.
No
Okay.
host cards.
That's impressive.
Who are you? An unknown lady asks you to entertain her during the feast? No. Mercy, my lord. Several ladies ask you how merciful you would be if you were confronted with your most hated foe. Mercy versus hate.
You're like
my
the ones
biggest...
left that I haven't killed?
Yeah, exactly. My merciful is 9. My hate is 15. Keep
How's
dancing.
that?
You are... I would roll merciful versus my strongest hate, and if merciful wins, the ladies bless me for my mercy, and if hate
Gotcha.
wins, I by violent ways seem to offend them. See, my wife's a Saxon. I'm probably not going to bring that up. Keep dancing. You are moved or invited to dance your night away. I roll dancing, and on success, I attract the gaze of an eligible lady. I'm married, thank you. And more food, everyone rolls, that kind of thing. None of these look particularly great for me, but I am decent at recognize. So I may try for that.
Out
So
of everyone who might have a vengeful wife or whatever, yours would just straight up be able to beat you up.
Yeah. Which is fantastic, by the way. Edrich loves that. I'm gonna roll recognize, I think. So long as I don't fumble. As I said that. Oh, success. I see that she is an important lady in disguise, and I can roll intrigue.
Okay.
That is a success on intrigue. I gain 10 glory for keeping her secret and get 2 geniality in general. So let me just record that real quick. But yes, do we want to make up this lady?
I know who I'm going to use. It is Lady Igraine.
Oh my god!
Lady
Oh my
Igraine, Lady
God.
Igraine?
Yeah.
Lady Igraine, Lady Igraine.
What the fuck is she doing here? Get her out of here! Go away! I don't want to look at her.
She is not
She's
dressed,
scary.
She's not dressed in a way that makes like she's dressed in a way that where she doesn't look like Igraine. Like and
What is she covered in mud?
yeah, exactly. Well, the card
Too late.
itself,
Oh.
the card itself suggests that it's possible
She's in
to
disguise.
be one in disguise. So, I don't know how
I-
she would disguise herself. She is
Well,
also
here's the thing.
aged.
She has
A veil?
aged. She is appearance 31 or something. I imagine it's something like she's wearing a veil. Maybe she's wearing the clothes
That's what I'm
of
thinking.
a foreign lady or a handmaid in waiting and something, and asks me to dance. I think with that success on recognize, Edrich looks up, immediately goes, because I killed her husband. And
You've
Her first husband. You also served her second husband.
yeah, and
Hmm.
you've also had direct positive interactions with her since.
yes,
She visited your
definitely.
home,
I tried to
Indeed,
kill-
and I did get news of her daughter, though I did not retrieve her. I brought back news that she was alive and doing weird stuff.
Room.
So yeah, I think Edrich definitely, after it takes a little bit to clock it, and then when he does, he is incredibly terrified by her being in this court. But no, he definitely does entertain her, speaks with her. He likes the Lady Igraine.
She looks like she's been at she's been at the Abbey, right, for this whole time.
Yeah.
I think you and Florence are the ones aware of that, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
But she looks the part of that'd probably be her disguise. She looks the part of like the religious garb she has, kind of the veil and such. It just makes her look more like a petty noble lady, and it covers up a lot of her distinguished, beautiful features. On top of that, she is no longer a spring chicken, so the age is starting to show on her. And
Indeed. Well, that means
you
I
saw
no longer
her-
have to roll lustful, so I'm good.
yeah, she was distraught the last time you saw her. She doesn't seem to be now.
That's good. My lady, it is good to see you, though I admit the locale is unexpected. I trust the years have treated you well.
They've treated me well enough. Better than the last time we spoke, I suppose. I've
That is good to hear.
located Morgan, and she is in
That is good.
safe care.
Yes. From what I heard from the lady in white, she did intimate much the same, that she was being taught, trained, but that she could not be found. I am glad that you have managed that.
Indeed.
What brings you here? I admit your name is not. Shall we say you are not top on the list of the nation's concerns, but you are still a well known face, and in a nation in crisis.
I've seen that Salisbury is under threat, and if Salisbury is under threat, so is the Abbey where I stay. I thought it best to
Quite
keep my
so.
eyes on things.
Very wise. I realize that you yourself have mentioned that you renounced your claims as such. But what is happening to Cornwall is a terrible thing. Should you wish for further information about that matter, I can provide I can provide whispers of that sort. And indeed, you are personally acquainted with one who can do it better than I.
Thank you for your offer, Sir Edrich. I've been hearing concerns from the border. Is it true that Cornwall marches this way?
It is true. I've heard whispers of much the same. Though if it is in any consolation, I do not believe Salisbury to be their immediate target. It will either be Summerland or the lands to our south, Devon. But from there, they will surround us on even more of our border.
I know that for you, likely Idris is a name. But he was my former husband's rival for quite some time. And I would expect him to wish to pay back Uther and Uther's line. I do not know if he will put his own name forth in the battles to come for the High King. I simply know that if he has the opportunity, he will claim Logres, or whatever part of it he might be able to achieve. And there are only so many options from Jagant.
Indeed so. I have had similar suspicions, but hearing it from the lips of one who knew him, knows him well, that is more concrete. Thank you, my lady.
All right. So what does this get you?
I at 10 glory and 2 geniality, which I have written down.
So 3 total. Is that correct? 4 total.
2 total. 1 from getting the card, and 1 from being here.
Right. Okay. And then plus 10 glory. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But yes, that's me. Sorry it took so long. It was unexpected to see the former
It was
queen.
a grain. It was
Yeah.
moment.
Indeed.
You want to move your cards down? We'll hand it over to Virgil.
Yes, absolutely. I've got so many cards.
Are you trying to tell me that it's Virgil's turn to do Virgil things?
Is Virgil's turn?
I am also going to draw cards. How many rounds have we got? 3 rounds? Yeah, we got time.
Indeed.
I'm gonna draw some cards. I think, let's see, my glory is at 5,600, so I think it's 4 cards, right? Or is it still 3?
It is what's your glory right now?
5,600.
5, right? 5 is
Yep.
3.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 is
Show of
3,
strength.
and 8,000.
Oh shit. Yeah, so there's 3 for a while then. Show of strength. Another knight challenges you to a contest of strength. The host speaks at length. That's a
There
host
you
card.
go.
Have to take that. And difficult questions. An unwed lady asks you how she looks. Oh, thank God for the host card.
I think this is the part where one of the knights challenges you to a show of strength, and just as you do that, the host gets up to speak.
No, Robert, let me have this.
Yeah.
No.
I just wanted to
so-
say how much I enjoy the beef marrow fritters.
You gotta suck the marrow out of life, kid. I get it. But do it later. I need to kill. All right, energetic versus lazy.
It's like Lady Ellen steps up and says, "Now we're going to hand it over to Edrich to drone on about the political landscape." Edrich?
No.
Doom comes for all of us.
All right, that is a success on energetic, and now I get to test intrigue, which is actually more likely to pass than fail now. Though I do not get it.
Right.
Okay, so tick energetic, and I have succeeded the action, but I have not gotten a glimpse of things to come or +5 for my intrigue for the rest of the feast.
In all reality, too, that was actually Lady Ellen who droned on. All right.
She's talking about stuff that we already covered in the meeting. I'm listening. Fine.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. So that gets you a geniality. Do you get a second for the card?
Nope,
Sure.
the card was a 0 geniality card.
Okay. Rip. Usually host
Rip
cards always come
indeed.
with something. Oh well.
It would have had a good bonus if I had passed the intrigue, but
Yeah. Okay, that brings us to Rhodri.
All right, Rhodri is going to draw 2 cards. Those bandits.
Bandits.
And secret
those
dish.
fucking bandits.
Hunting roll. A local knight mentions having trouble with bandits, or a secret dish. A platter of your favorite food is served nearby. Temperate versus indulgent. Let's do that secret dish.
I remember Secret Dish once got my love of favored sons to like 17.
Oh yeah. Alright. Temperate versus indulgent. Oh, temperate fail. Indulgent also fail.
I think in this card you just continue.
Retest.
Why did you choose this one, man? It puts you out for a round.
If Indulgent succeeds.
Yeah.
Or if
I-
indulgent stays.
I will note one thing. It does say all play knights seated in the same area as you, which at the moment
So it's just me!
is just you.
Wonderful.
Okay. Mark's like, I had enough screen time. Let's see. Okay, re-roll both, I guess, then, and we see which one comes up. Temperate
Temperate
succeed.
success. Indulgent a higher success.
That still doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Also a higher success, yeah. So yeah, I'm out for a round. But I do
What?
get 1 geniality.
One genial.
What is Rhodri's favorite food?
Yeah.
Cause is it heraldic no, is it like
It's heraldic
bone marrow
elements.
broth? Yeah.
In meat jelly.
Meat jelly.
He likes to put the two together. He gets the meat jelly with the heraldic
Exactly.
thing, and then he puts the beef marrow fritters.
Suck the marrow
Exactly.
out of life.
No, of course not. His favorite dish is whole fucking spices. He just gets a handful of those.
Man, these spices in the case.
Good spice.
You go into the kitchen and just start eating them whole, and they're like, no, they're supposed to be ground
Well, that's
up.
supposed to go over food.
That's awesome.
This whole dish got started because people were too embarrassed to tell Rhodri he was eating the spices wrong.
I feel like that's something people would actually do, like put to a king. He's eating it wrong.
No,
Don't tell him, it's fine.
Your Majesty, this is the latest craze in Spain.
We will. There are some rumors going about. We're gonna get a intrigue test from all 3 of you, as people gossip.
You know that thing I'm supposed to be good at? Hey!
Hey, you did it.
You did not fumble. That's good.
We all did it. We
Okay.
all have swords.
I know this round though you won't be able to act Rhodri, but you still overhear this while you're munching away on your favorite dish. There are more guests here. They're not official delegates like the 2 Saxons that seem to glare at each other while eating not far from each other. You see various banners, and you hear rumors that there are many lords and barons and such that are here for the promise of the hand of Lady Jenna. That are present for this. You also all hear a rumor that apparently some sort of secret letter came from Cornwall. I don't mention the person that sent it or the contents of it, but they mention a secret letter from Cornwall. to the Countess, and you guys have not heard of anything of this. Interesting that she
No,
wouldn't
we
share that
not.
piece. Yeah.
Don't like that.
Damn you, Florence, not telling me secrets. You know how much I love secrets.
I'll tell you secrets he doesn't fucking know.
I know.
All right, that brings us back to Edrich and Virgil for round 2. Edrich. Or do you guys need a moment to chat? I assume not. We'll do that later.
I'm good.
Having a moment to chat might be nice, I guess. But I am good to continue. My next thing was going to, I think Edric's going to try to swoop on the Lady Ellen, because this is the second year in a row that the Lady Jenna has been the main topic of conversation, and
it was actually
so
last
many...
Christmas that I think, if I recall.
Last Christmas.
So not.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So still technically last year.
Yeah.
I think Edrich, with all of these foreign powers coming in and visiting dignitaries like powerful merchants, that kind of thing, he's going to ask about it with the Lady Ellen, broaching it delicately.
Okay.
So as the marshal, presumably he can swoop.
You may, in fact, do the swoop. Yep.
You are allowed to swoop.
Excellent. Swooping is good. Edrich will appear beside the Lady Ellen and go, Countess Ellen.
Oh, Edrich. Wonderful to see you.
And good to see you as well. I hope you are enjoying the feast.
I am. And you can tell that she's not being entirely honest.
I see. I can't help but note some concern. Would it happen to be related to the topic of gossip and whispers among the court, as it is? Many people have come here for a highly specific reason that is perhaps near and dear to your heart, I sense.
And quite so. Between you and me, I am not looking forward to sending Lady Jenna anywhere but Salisbury. These times are dangerous. Such instability, and yet many of my men and some of the voices here are hinting, even the ladies, suggesting what might be the best move for Lady Jenna's hand.
What would they know of it? You are her mother.
You know how these things work. And I suppose
I do.
You're fortunate not to have to marry for politics.
Yes. There was great pressure on me as the head of the house. And indeed it was damaging politically for quite some time. But to marry for love, it was liberating, freeing, and worth the struggle. But even then, with someone on the other side, politics were not as fractious as they were today. I can understand wanting to not send the Lady Jenna anywhere but here. And even then, matters are complicated. I won't lie. The marriage of any of your vassal knights into the ruling house would be a great boon for any of them, and it is one of the few ways that houses can jockey for position. But so long as you remain true to yourself, and so long as you listen to the Lady Jenna, whether it be for politics or for love, matters will sort themselves out. We live in times which are turbulent enough that, and this may come as a small comfort, whatever choice you make will not affect matters all that much. We have enough enemies that, truly, this is one of the rare luxuries afforded to us.
Give me a courtesy roll.
Absolutely. Now, I did increase my courtesy. So it is no longer 7.
Is it 8?
It is not 8, it is 12. With the experience stuff. So let's see what we got. Oh, and I had my genealogy, thank God.
Yes. Yeah. Had your genealogy as well.
Okay. No, go back. There we go. Yeah! Okay. Thank God for the genealogy there.
Okay, so courtesy 13 success. Okay. She says, I thank you for your counsel. It's much appreciated. Hey, Yampa, thanks for the subscription.
In most matters, I am pragmatic to what some would say a fault. In matters of the heart, it is a different matter entirely.
And the courtesy roll, just for your own awareness, will reflect it being a positive experience for her. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, it's Edrich saying, I've got your back. What do these people fucking know? It would
That's
be
exactly-
great if a political alliance were made.
You told her exactly what she wanted to hear in a way sincere
Yeah.
enough that she actually believed, like, well, you did. You were honest with her about your own
Yeah.
thoughts. And you weren't there to find out who the suitors were, which went a long way with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves the royal family. He is now famously loyal to the Lord, and even if he had a lower passion there, he cares about them. He knew them before they were a countess.
Alrighty. That brings us back to Virgil.
It's Virgil's turn?
Virgil time for Virgil people.
Well, I might as well stick to tradition. I'd like to go and talk to Aethling Kinnerak.
Yeah.
Don't you love that we got Kinrick and we got Kinniark here? I was just
Yeah.
spending my time just loving these, because we'll never get Kinniark and Kinrick mixed up.
We've also got Karanog
And Karanog.
And Kenrick.
and Kenrick.
Yep.
Kenrick's here.
Yep.
And Cerdic.
We need a Kinrick, Cerdic.
Got a Cerdic.
Yeah.
And of course, we are Kimrick.
What should I roll here? Could I make an attempt at temperate and try to make sure that the Aethelings have a good amount of food and are comfortable, or should I roll intrigue? What do you think, Mr.
Well,
Bob?
Zach thinks you should roll the slam.
I should roll.
No!
But
This lamb succeeds.
yeah.
God damn it. No, wait. Shit.
Okay, yeah, you
No!
can make a temperate roll if you want to look after, make sure that they. What the temperate roll will represent is maybe you're passing on a tray of food or orchestrating a tray of food be sent to them.
I think so. I think one of the things that's right by Virgil, he's going to send to the Aethelings, and I think he'll wait for them to notice, and if they wave him over, he'll come and speak to them.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm eating that food. Fuck those guys.
Oh, okay. I guess you're like, you look right at them. You hold the food up. They're like, oh, thank you. You're like,
I think so. I think that's
These
what
are-
it looks like, actually. I think he legit like makes eye contact with them and is like, "You want this? Yeah, mine." Ow.
mine. Yeah. How's it feel to want sucker? Yeah.
What?
I'm
Why
actually pretty
did-
happy with that.
Why did the war start, Uncle Virgil?
I was hungry.
Yeah, it won't have like you didn't fumble, so it won't have a crazy effect. But what I will add to you too is I think everyone kind of realizes we haven't really seen anyone from Kent. You know, they've kind of been always there. I think Kent is the longest lasting group out of all the Saxons. Like they're the oldest on the island. Sorry, they're the oldest in Logres. I think Naught or Ira might be older, but they're old. And I believe this is the group where our good friend Hengist once rolled over, if memory serves.
Hengist Khan?
Yeah, Hengist Khan. Yeah. Hengist, the father of Octa, I can't remember. Octa or Iosa, one of those two. They're kin. So he was like the uncle of one and the father of the other. And also the orchestrator of the Knight of Long Knives. That's kind of a little important piece, I guess we should mention. Yeah. So it was Hengist and then Ace and Kinyar. Anyways, a little bit of history.
Fancy.
And then we cut to Rhodri, who's currently choosing his heraldic emblem in meat jelly.
Nom.
No.
I enjoy eating the heraldic emblems of my
Delicious.
enemies.
He's found a little corner by himself, and he's got them laid out in
Yeah.
a particular order. You know, like kids do with fruit
Sir
snacks,
Rhodri,
colors, and he's like,
You're not supposed to eat the emblems. You're supposed to.
all of a sudden, Rhodri's like an imbecile.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that's
When-
not how
when
we've been
faced
playing
with-
him. Yeah.
He's eating his
Yeah, but
crayons
this
in the
time-
corner.
Oh, Akeem.
All right, that brings us to round 3.
Right.
Do you, Edrich, what would... Okay, so Edrich, one particular thing we'll note for this round is there is like troubadours that go through what Mark had mentioned earlier. The winds of change. They play out your heroic deeds in the Battle of Cornwall, and they really emphasize they really emphasize Florence's parting words with Gorlo.
I think Edric the entire time is like grimacing and looking over to the Lady in Grade.
Yeah,
but
she
no,
had a huge
definitely.
love for him, actually, if I remember correctly. So let's see, but that would have, died off with time. Let's see how that stings her. Probably a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
some tears.
yeah.
But it's like a smile kind of thing. And it doesn't seem to be targeted at you. You kind of look over, like, you are a knight, you are a soldier, you just following orders. Good soldiers follow orders. So,
Good soldiers follow orders. Activate Order 66.
I see that Bob has finished his Clone Wars watch through recently.
Yeah, and Bad Batch, first 2 seasons, and
So good, right?
So, plowed through it all. Yes. So, in it, one of the guys you distinctly remember Florence hiring this group, and one of them looks to you at the end of it, and he actually speaks the words, sings a song of winds are changing, and at the end of the song he winks at you.
I think Edric does clock that, and from the suspicion earlier, he's like, yep, got it, they are doing this. It's bad, not as bad as it could be. He will give thanks to the troubadour, and in fact, I hate myself for this, I am going to give him a tip. I am going to pass him a purse of monies for his good performance. It's going to be 20 dinar. No, dinar? No. Yes, dinar. Thank God. Not 20 librum. I can't afford that.
There you go. He's like, sweet. I'm gonna go start a. You just raised a lord.
I'm gonna start a
You become
mercenary band. Yeah.
Mercenary knight. Yeah.
But yes, I will give him 20 dinar, both for the information and for the representation.
Fun little fact. It would probably cost about 25, 30 librum to start as a knight if you weren't to get armor
Yeah.
and a charger and your weapons. Like, anyway, little side.
It's not cheap.
Okay. It is your turn with that side.
I think. I might speak to. With that kind of confirmation, I might speak to Countess Ellen again, but also I really want to draw 4 cards. I think I will speak to the Lady Ellen, mostly because I am the Marshal, and the words of my family are through duty glory, and essentially just report to her the whispers and the meaning of that kind of thing and what it might indicate. So with that, Edrich will raise above the salt again, kind of leaving the whole spices. No, he's chewing on a handful of cardamom pod. And yes, he will basically swoop once again and speak and say, "My lady, I've received word now that
Who's this to, Thomas?
in the
Again?
the Lady Ellen,
Okay.
Countess Ellen.
Just wanted to verify.
Yeah. Again, that through various sources, it does seem that King Idris is marching. Not on Salisbury, but there are only a few options. It will either be Summerland or it will be Devon, and then from there, he will border us even more.
He nods. We will discuss how to react. A small council meeting will be called right after this. Once we've
Right,
celebrated.
Furthermore, there have been rumors of a letter, a secret letter insofar as those things are, but the topic was not discussed. Was it a bid to get Salisbury to capitulate in the face of expansion?
Intrigue roll, and I will give you a plus. I'll give you a +5, but it's going to be against her intrigue. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. No, it is. Critical.
So I don't think she's at a 20, so I think you win by default, but I'll test anyways. I had forgotten until very recently that she actually has stats that are official, which makes my life easier.
Yeah.
She succeeds, you crit, so your recent having her, that opportunity, I just want to verify, yeah, you would have rolled an 18, so you still would have beat her, but I think this is more out of like she trusts you after that last interaction more than she has prior. You remember, she's kind of reluctantly moved you into your role. She's very worried about how you're going to launch Salisbury into war. But she says it was an offer, another one, but this one more formal. It spoke of a union of Jenna's hand to Prince Mark, the heir of Cornwall.
But he's unbearable. Perhaps that is the wrong thing to focus on. I
Well,
see how that
perhaps,
would
but
have
I
been.
agree with you. I've already sent back a reply. We will not
Indeed
be
so.
accepting an offer to someone such as him. I had a bad feeling about him when I met him.
Likewise. And indeed, I trust your intuition more than mine. I will say this. I know it cannot have been an easy decision to turn it down. But King Idris is a foreigner. Whether or not he makes a bid for High King, and I believe that he will, he should not sit on the throne. It's just a matter of what to do from there. The small council meeting, we will determine how to react, if at all.
Indeed. And with that, someone kind of cuts it off, like it's like, when you're talking to a VIP, it's like, and then
Yeah.
my lady.
As she looks back, Edric's already gone. He swoops away.
So you will get 3 because you crit.
Thank you kindly.
That brings us to Virgil.
I love Virgil.
I love Virgil too.
Well, I tried. So I'm going back to the feast. I'm doing the cards. Virgil doesn't like intrigue. He doesn't want to do intrigue. He made an attempt, and then he changed his mind. The host calls for a song.
I love how you keep getting derailed. Not really, but kind of. Which one were you going to do before the host calls for a song? I think that's more comical. It's like,
Lady in distress or fashion disaster. Another knight has arrived wearing the same clothing as you. I do like that one on the vibe of Virgil kills this guy. But lady in distress. You notice the lady trying to avoid an amorous knight. This one could also result either one of these. Oh, that one's got a dual sign. Yeah, I want to do lady. I would want to do lady in distress.
Absolutely.
you see the perfect opportunity to get yourself right into some sort of potential physical conflict, and right as you do, Robert says, "My knights, please, I wish to hear a song."
I think Edrich is like leaving, and he's like, "Please, please, Lord Robert, no."
Oh, you're muted. For a second, I thought you were
I
just
love the
making
idea.
faces. I thought that was great.
I love the idea of Virgil going around and trying to white knight ladies, but not to protect them purely because he wants to get
Just
in
to
a
get
fight.
into a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Virgil is pissed. But he waits for the bit where everybody starts singing, and he tries to go along with it as best he can.
All right. With that said, let's see who the winningest character is out of y'all. Rhodri,
Yeah, gee.
you've arrived just in time.
I wonder who the best fucking singer is.
Did you add
Wow.
your genealogy of one?
What is-
Yeah. Do you remember to add your genealogy?
Oh, well then, that's probably about 3,
yeah.
excuse me.
Holy crap! Yeah, like you guys are doing good.
Shit! If I didn't add my genealogy, that would have been a crit.
Would have been a crit.
Can I choose not to use my genealogy?
I don't think so.
It's probably not. No.
I think in the future you can opt to not, but I don't know why on earth you'd ever expect to roll the crit.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because it's a
I guess
roll
I gotta-
off, we'll say no.
I guess I gotta kill Thomas then.
Yeah.
I gotta kill Edrich.
Hey,
So I
there
can
are
sing better than
there
him.
are worse reasons. There are worse reasons.
The buzzing is there, man.
You know what? This is the perfect opportunity. There's another night, like Virgil, you're singing. You're impressing yourself with how well you're doing in the song, but you look over and you see another knight has white knighted for that scenario, and they're like, those two knights are in conflict now. And
The
you're
moment
like,
is past.
That could have been me. I could have been in the duel that's about to come.
Espiritu dominatus domine libra nos.
Boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
So partial success is still 1 geniality, but 2 geniality
Yep.
for Edrich, the gobbler of
You sick bastard.
geniality. This
I,
round.
all my shit.
truly, this is revenge for all of the other feasts where I got like -1 geniality and you guys got 10.
Truly, this is revenge for when I threw you through a table last session.
Yeah.
I think actually hold on. I want to make a roll. I want to make a roll specifically.
I think we did check your vengeful on that one, if I remember correctly.
We did
He
that.
he was more forgiving than he was vengeful, but I think in this moment, he's just doing okay. I've got to make Robert happy. I've done this personally before. I know what songs he likes.
Awesome.
Coco
done this
Melon,
to
the
him.
kid.
Yeah, I've done this before when he was like 4 years old. I'll do it to him when he's 6. God damn it!
Do it again. All right.
I'll do it again.
Perfect.
I'll do it again.
Do it again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Okay, so that
fucking do it
does
again.
bring us to you there, Mark. Is
All right.
Rhodri finishes
So
his
Rhodri
song.
is done eating marbles. It's now time to draw some cards. All right. More food and stewardship. You know what? I'm going to take the stewardship card.
I was about to say, if you take more food, we're gonna have to like do some kind of automatic up to not temperate, but
Indulgent.
Indulgent, yeah.
Yeah.
We could put a directed trait for food on Rhodri. So.
All right. So stewardship. Some knights are talking about management of their estates. Stewardship versus orate. Stewardship. These one count as skills that would be upped by geniality.
Yes, it would.
You gotta be shitting me. And
Actually, hold on. Back out. No, they wouldn't. Not stewardship would. Actually, orate
Oh,
would.
then it's a-
Technically. Orate would.
orate would.
Yeah.
All right. Then it's a 12 versus a 19.
Hey, look at that.
Well, I get 2 geniality, but I get shit all elsewise.
Oh, it's a 19? Wait, what?
No, I rolled
Oh.
a 19.
Yeah, but you keep rolling if you failed both, right?
No, it's. Oh, do I? So I keep rolling
usually
until
on
one
these
succeeds.
cards, if you one should succeed.
All right.
Okay.
In that case, stewardship again. Success. And yeah, failure.
All right.
So I impress them with my knowledge. Tick and stewardship.
Very good.
Plus 2 genius. Looks like Florence's neglect of Rhodri is paying off for him in dividends.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, who do you want to do? I don't know. Just do it. Figure it out over there.
Oh, so I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Roger's like, I guess I'm gonna learn how to steward.
That's exactly what happened to Edrich.
Edric's like, hey, family members. Oh wait, you don't have any. Keep getting.
Every steward I've ever had has died of unnatural causes. So I guess I'm doing it myself. But now Cynstenian's doing it.
Didn't someone have a problem with wolves? Were there like 2 different situations where wolves ate people?
Yeah. Wolves
That was
ate
Idmiston,
people.
yeah.
Sorry, okay.
they, yeah.
All right, gents. That brings us to the end of the feast. Rhodri, you did get some decent geniality for below the salt, and missing an entire round. All things said and done.
I will note that though it doesn't matter right now, Virgil would have 1 more geniality, bringing him up to 5. Because I
do
don't
appreciate
believe
it.
his. Yes.
Thanks for
I don't
noting that.
believe his. Yeah.
Cool. And then we are gonna have the small council meeting. The 3 of us. get off the banquet music and let's get back to our dark times of anarchy. So present this time is Erwin and the three of you. And was there anyone else that was there prior?
No one alive.
Everyone else is dead.
Didn't this guy die?
Huel?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I feel
Yeah,
like
he died. He died in the last thing.
What did he die? Oh, he died from devices.
Yeah.
Yep.
United
Just
we
he
stand,
propped his
divises
body up
we
in the
fall.
corner.
God, could you imagine? We've become the necromancers.
Look, it's a valid strategy. I keep telling you, it's okay.
Okay, so we'll say that this isn't immediately after. I think it's probably postponed for a few weeks. I think Lady Ellen actually suggests that they wait for calls to war, because they will be coming, so we know exactly what the landscape is before we see what to do. Ellen thanks everyone for coming. This is the first one Robert is present for this.
I'm so proud of him. I really am.
He sits in the at the table. He seems to be attempting to be very attentive. Lady Jenna is also present for this. So it's clear that Ellen's starting to treat her errors as necessary. Yeah, Robert wants more songs. He wants
Don't slam Robert.
make the bad man fly. No, he's not. He's not like that. He's really not. It's a kid, man. Okay. So, Lady Ellen says there are a few different topics to discuss. The first is an offer that's come our way. We have an offer from... Hold on. Bob lost his spot. Just want to make sure I get the places right. Yeah, okay, there we go. The kings of Sussex, and Essex have offered generous terms should we send 15 Salisbury knights to each.
How generous.
They both
Oh, sorry, you go.
also offer a promise that they will protect us from other Saxons if we do this.
How generous, precisely?
$25 librum per night.
I think Edrich does... Wait, hold on. Does Edrich do the math pretty quickly? He can't read. Thomas does the math pretty quickly, and he does nod appreciatively. And
That
Edrich
is at
says...
least 5 times the rate of a what you'd expect, like a mercenary vassal knight to go out for. An individual.
You could buy a charger every single night.
Yeah. Edrich will nod and say, "Those are generous indeed." They came with these offers separately, yes?
They have. Indeed.
I
also know
admit.
that Essex and Sussex had a representative here. Essex didn't. No one from Essex was present at Easter.
Yeah. When did this offer from Essex come? And by what means?
One of the nephews of the King of Essex. They sent it just 1 week after Easter.
And yet, no one came to discuss the terms with us directly.
No, it doesn't seem so.
I smell a
Are they-
trap.
Are they aware of each other's possible agreements that we are offering, that they are offering this generous payment for knights?
It worries me that they are going to clash over the land around London.
Yes. My meeting with those of Essex, at least I think it was Essex, indicated that, well, since it was within their reach, they wanted to grasp for it immediately. I dislike the idea of sending Salisbury Knights, even for such generous terms, against loyal Britons. I do not dislike the possibility that said knights will be fighting other Saxons.
If the Saxons are indeed infighting, we are in our best interest to ensure that it does continue to do so.
And if that were the
yet-
case... Oh, sorry, you go.
And yet, taking their money will be symbolic as well. If we accept it, it'll be telling all the others that we have picked a side, whether that's true or not.
The political implications are troubling, but on the face of it, should we send 15 knights to Salisbury, getting in return... was it 15 or 25 per head?
25 per head.
25.
Getting 25 per head. That is a great deal of capital to each of those knights, and indeed to Salisbury as a whole, so long as they return home safe. If we send it to Sussex, it is unlikely they will fight men of Logres. If we send it to Essex, it is likely they will. If we send any at all, it will mean we will be hard-pressed to defend. From Wessex, and indeed from our other expansive neighbors.
Why don't we... It was said definitively that both sides were not aware that one of them made... Did both of them make us the offer, or just one of them?
Both did.
Both made the offer? Gotcha.
Mhm. One came from
But
an
Essex-
atheling, and the other one came from a messenger, from the sounds of it.
That concerns me, though. That's... Something about that doesn't feel right. Virgil kind of, like, leans forward in his chair a little bit, and he goes... We know nothing about Essex. Sussex, at least, has made some attempts at diplomacy, no matter how uncomfortable they have been. I'm more inclined to lean with the devil I know in this situation.
It's true that we have allies, or at least those I trust more than others in Silchester. The Duke specifically, Ulfius. I only wish that he himself was to rise to a position where we hear so much of these kings that wish to claim the island as theirs, and it seems Ulfius is some reason.
No doubt. No doubt Ulfius probably plans to do the same.
Salisbury has no such claim. I don't see why we wouldn't support Ulfius if he asked us for it.
Quite so.
Lady Jenna leans over and whispers something to her mother. Go ahead and give me an awareness test, each of you in here.
Virgil's
I have fantastic ears. Oh, I fumbled.
Ah!
What does...
I've
what
given
does
the luck to Thomas!
Yeah, curse you. What does a fumble on awareness look like here?
I think he
you are-
blinked.
You are in the middle of saying something, and what you're saying is more important than what's going
Obviously.
on. We'll say Rhodri's positioning you. You just are a little bit closer to the two of them, and you hear Lady Jenna say, "Oh yes, that's Ufo's father?" And Ellen looks at her and says, nods. And she just nods and leans back. And there's a look. You know, Mark, you can make an intrigue for that look on Jenna's face too.
I didn't
take
hear
a
it.
guess.
I didn't hear it, but I don't
Yeah.
need an intrigue. I don't need an intrigue roll to know what she's.
No,
she's
she's
on
like,
about.
God damn it!
Gotta be
I think she hates him.
You didn't fumble. We'll just leave it to your. I think you know.
I have an assumption. But
Yeah,
yeah.
you can
Yeah.
lead with your assumption is what we'll go. But they're quickly like it was like a
Yeah.
she did it in a way where it wasn't disruptive because Edrich
Yeah.
was
Hmm.
talking, and so she was like a subtle, quick comment and then back again. Her mom didn't say anything, just nodded to her.
Mm. But yes, I think what Edrich was saying was probably... There have been times where I have been leery to ally with Sussex and Silchester for various reasons, but in this, between the two potential issues, sending Salisbury Knights to join with Sussex wouldn't be a terrible idea. If we can take them away from the eastern border, it would mean that the lands most likely to be attacked through Silchester won't be.
Just wait till Edrich invents the 100 of Saxonbury.
Yes.
You have the most claim to it. There's a nod, and Ellen says, "I think this is more complicated than I thought. I was going to suggest that we vote on this matter, but it seems in a way, now that I think about it, these topics are all connected. We also received a demand of tribute from Cerdic again."
Screw him. Forgive me, my ladies. Ignore his demands.
We have confirmed that Cornwall wishes to march. It seems their target is Dorset, and we've received messages of mercenaries, or messages seeking mercenaries from both places. Furthermore, we've received messages of mercenaries being hired from Kent and Sussex.
They are gearing up for war. In a big way. I've got a question. Who owns Devon? Oh, Dorset, rather.
Dorset? You guys did spend a short time down there. You dropped off Merlin. You heard that there was a Praetor Jonathan is the name. No, it's not Praetor that you want dead, but you also have...
Yeah,
info
not
on that.
Sigarius. Sigarius was there, though.
Yeah, Praetor Jonathan is his name. And Praetor Jonathan and Idris are seeking mercenaries. Ellen does continue. There's also... Some of our contacts have mentioned that Gals is seeking footmen. It appears that they are going to be dealing with some of the wild tribesmen in Gales. And so knights are not necessary, but they appear to be starting to expand.
Gales would be on the mainland, right? France?
No. Gales
No.
is Wales.
Wales.
Got you. That would not be a bad matter to get involved in, save for the fact that we need all of the levies we can muster.
Also, an entire county over.
We'd have to cross through lands which we have recently fought with and are currently in the middle of a civil war. But yes, it is good to know. I, as Marshal, will likely attempt to dissuade some of our men from joining in the mercenary forces of, at the very least, Dorset and Kent. We need them, well, to perform distractions in one way or the other, and I don't believe Dorset can withstand the might of Cornwall, at least not now. Adding men to that won't change much.
Most likely not.
With that in mind, having men go to Sussex, and indeed the allies of Stilchester, gaining the wealth therein, and quite possibly looting, it would be a well-needed boost to our economy, so strangled by tribute as of late.
I would agree that 15 knights is one of the more sparable options we have. Ellen says.
What we need are more knights, if anything, but sadly, well, time is linear, and our squires still need time to train. But I believe we have, in the face of it, a way forward in this case. It looks like with the stability of the Saxons, already so tenuous, breaking further, there is the opportunity for infighting. I do not like the idea of our men being sent to kill Britons, but to kill Saxons, that's practically a pastime.
Well, it seems we have some options before us then. Perhaps let's bring this to a vote. All in favor of sending 15 knights to Sussex?
Oh,
Aye.
we're raising our hands. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
No, I'm following.
Uh,
Let me just. You know what I do need to do? I need to check and see. Did Liam? Did Virgil respond to that?
I think so.
I just
Real
want to
quick,
make sure you heard it. Yeah.
can we vote for multiple things?
It seems like she's separating. She's separating these, so this is just the call for that. You can verify
Perfect.
if you want to verify that this doesn't cancel out another option.
I think I need to test something actually. Not only does Virgil vote, as he does, he goes, I volunteer myself to go as well.
She looks and she's like, Sir Virgil, you are now a castellan. Are you sure that's wise?
It's important for us to make sure that Salisbury looks strong right now. We need to send some of our best. Make an effort to see and be seen. That is my opinion. If you wish to reject that, I will not refuse you.
I think Edrich will speak and say, I will agree with Sir Virgil here. I am confident in his ability to stay alive, and moreover, someone in a position of authority and leadership in such a matter would be able to keep eyes and ears on matters goings on. And his association with the South Saxons beforehand would possibly smooth things over. He's like looking at Virgil, and as he says the last part, he's like, is it going to?" Silently to him.
Virgil grins.
Erwin
Upon
did.
which
Erwin did raise his hand in favor of this one as well.
Mm.
Go ahead, Rhodri.
Rhodri would just kind of look between the two and then go, "If I might object, a castellan's role is to guard and run the castle of their liege. A castle without a castellan is but walls that contain an army. If it cannot be used, then perhaps there is not much of a point to having it."
Salisbury is short-staffed right now, Rhodri. Many of us need to pull double duty to ensure that Salisbury as a whole, our great castle, stays safe.
I was unaware you could be in two places at once.
Watch me this month, I'll show you.
Erwin looks
Now that
to
I'd like to see.
Edrich and says, "Would we be able to position knights if we were to send knights from devices? Could we place others on garrison duty in devices, those that would otherwise defend their own lands?"
That was my plan, more or less. With Silchester possibly not being a means of transit for potentially hostile forces, we can stand to defend our eastern borders less heavily. We could move some people around.
Is it not oh god.
Go ahead. Yeah.
If it is not our northern border where we have had trouble as of late. In fact, Devices is the very castle we just spent 3 days sieging.
Yeah, 3 days isn't that long. We took it pretty quickly. But in character, Edrich will
and then
not.
you would say, because the next time it may not take as quickly.
Edrich will nod and say, "Your words have great wisdom, and indeed I ask this of you, Sir Virgil. Is Devices staffed enough with enough administrative capacity that it can be run in your absence with you on frontline duty?"
That's a question for Liam.
Sorry, say it one more time.
Is Devices staffed enough with enough administrative... That's the second time I got, administrative capacity that it can be run in your absence?
I need to test something else.
Oh?
Yeah.
That's a success on prudent, yeah?
It's a success on reckless, too. Higher
on
success
reckless.
on reckless.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Virgil goes, my new wife, Lady Lilo, is very capable of running affairs there. All of Salisbury is understaffed at the moment. But I think it'll hold. The one thing I'm concerned about is... And he kind of looks to Erwin and he goes, the matter we discussed before. I had intended to take a team to go and investigate this year, but I'm not sure if I'll have time if I'm going to be down south.
Considering its relative import and strategic implications, I would be happy to send a detachment, either headed by myself or otherwise. I will say, Sir Rhodri, your words have great wisdom, but I believe personally in Sir Virgil's competence, that he will be able to manage such things. I have not met the Lady Lilo in great detail, for certain reasons. Um, but
Ellen,
I am.
Ellen speaks up and says, "The matter of sending 15 knights has been decided.
Hmm.
Sir Edrich, as marshal, I look to you to determine the logistics of which knights march and when."
It shall be done. Edric's got battle 20. It's easy enough.
The second matter to vote, sending 15 knights to Essex.
I say nay.
Nay.
You're on mute again.
You're muted.
Nay. If they want our troops, they can send someone important to negotiate for them.
And they can
Erwin-
attack someone other than London.
Erwin nods. I agree. It would be a mistake. With their recent encroachment in support in Huntland, I do not like enabling them. Their war is likely to come to our borders. Or the borders of Logres, anyway.
Quite so.
Okay, so that one's decided. She says, "There's been no offer from Cornwall, nor has there been an offer from Kent, nor the Warren Gales, not for our aid directly. And she kind of looks around and she says, there have been a few offers, however, there have been offers for my daughter's hand in marriage. One has been rejected, Prince Mark of Cornwall."
Edric will nod. There's no surprise.
Virgil scoffs a little bit.
Though no offer has been directly sent, there are Silchester courtiers who came during Easter. It seems they were creating a suggestion that Sir Ufo, Ulfius' son, and Lady Jenna would be a good pairing.
Now that is interesting. I thought Ufo was going to be married off to some Saxon princess.
It seems that perhaps that's why no offer came our way. Perhaps they too are considering options. I've spoken to Edrich, and I've suggested that my personal desire is to see Lady Jenna stay here in Salisbury. That using her simply as a political bait would not be my heart's desire. But I am a countess, and I have duties. And so I would like to raise it formally before the small council. Do we continue to entertain external offers on my daughter's hand?
I will say this from a political standpoint. You know my feelings on the matter, and I support you in this, and you indeed, Lady Jenna. Entertaining these options might be tiresome for the both of you, but it creates a variable politically that people will try and seek without it being a known factor. It allows for some uncertainty. If this offer from UFO is made in good faith and genuinely, it would not have been done with such conspiracy. I would not put stock in it until you have heard it from the horse's mouth, as it were, or a trusted messenger. But it will be up to, of course, the both of you.
She looks towards Virgil and Rhodri and Erwin.
The way I see it, there's too much at stake right now to worry about personal preference on this sort of matter. I don't like Cornwall. They've already poached one of our finest knights, and they are encroaching heavily on our territory. I'm not interested in making friends with them. I'm interested in whetting my sword against them. But Silchester, Duke Ulfius, that is a friendship that could be extremely valuable to us. If I'd go a step further rather than wait for Ulfius to entertain the idea, I say we start actively pursuing it. My vote is that yes, we continue to entertain these ideas. Offers, whatever.
She nods to Virgil. Eyes turn to Rhodri.
Virgil's words have wisdom, and for once we are of a similar mind.
It might be the first time ever.
Yeah.
um,
Silchester may prove itself to be a valuable ally in the times to come, and there is nothing stronger in alliances than the bond of marriage and blood. But I digress. The decision is up to you, Countess. However, to note, your daughter is the only offering we have of this moment, as your son is not of age to marry, not anytime soon. Unless, of course, you were to remarry yourself.
she looks at you and she nods. It is something that you are certainly not the first to suggest such things, Rhodri.
As I've said, it is not my decision to make. I simply offer what wisdom I may have.
She looks to Erwin and Erwin says, with the death of the steward of Levcamagus and the passing of our great Earl, what was once a dangerous rivalry is the past. We've fought beside Ufo and his father Ulfius during our conquest for Albans. I
Ufo
would
was
support
there when
this.
we found the dead prince. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. I too would support this move. And I think it would be limiting ourselves not to entertain and keeping the entertainment of offers open, for nothing more than to appear open to negotiation. With that, Ellen nods. Understood. Well, I suppose I'll verify what was already said, and for the matter of paying tribute to Wessex.
You know my feelings on this. They have bled enough Libram from Salisbury. And right now, well, they need it more than we do. Which is why we shouldn't give it to them.
Admittedly, I like those in Wessex more than the others. But tribute is not an alliance. We gave our terms. We should hold to them.
Agreed. Better to stick to our word.
Out of character, I'm trying to remember what was the word that we gave for that?
We give them one pavement and then never again.
Yeah, we said we'd pay one more year, and that was it. If they wanted our assistance, we would be as equals or as partners, not as tribute people.
Cash cows.
Tributees, yeah.
Tributaries.
Nods. Yeah, Erwin nods in agreement and says, "I support the others in this." Lady Jenna actually speaks up and says, "We have diplomats in Wessex, yes? If
That is correct.
diplomacy is broken down, should we recall them?"
No. Virgil actually jumps in, I think, before Edrich says anything, and he goes, "My cousin is there. I understand the weight of something like that, but if we recall our diplomats, it would show as a sign of bad faith. We're not declaring war on Wessex. We're holding to our word. If they take that hostilely, then so be it. Dallin knows the price."
I will say this. I have faith in Dallin's capabilities, though he is, by this point, quite an aged knight. He's crafty, and his ability has proven him well, alongside my cousin, and alongside, indeed, Sir Rhodri's brother.
Still can't grow a damn beard, though.
Perhaps not. But one thing is certain. I have faith in their ability to get out of a dangerous situation if the problem becomes untenable. Perhaps a discreet removal, a recollection of some diplomats. But Dallin, of course, would be informed of our decisions beforehand. In fact, I can send a rider soon.
Nothing
There's
that
a-
would spook the Saxons.
There's a nod. "Very well," Ellen says, "and we will leave Sir Dallin in place and see where this brings us. I thank you all for your time." All right.
I think,
Yeah.
actually, I have one last thing. It'll be very quick.
Yep.
If able, I think Virgil will approach Lady Jenna as everybody's kind of filtering out. And he'll go, "Lady Jenna,
Sir Virgil?
you did good today."
Oh, thank you.
Hmm.
You as well. He doesn't know what to say in turn.
He smiles at that, laughs, and makes his way out.
I love Jenna, Robert, and her and their three murderous uncles. We're murderous in very different ways, but we're very into it.
Our families all loved Roderick so deeply. We will do anything for his family, even if they are, boy, real ill-equipped for all of this.
Even if they are children.
Even if they are children.
Okay. I am thinking, folks, we are just about at the 3-hour mark. We've gone through a bunch. I'm thinking we might wrap here. Is there anything short that anyone wanted to address before we do?
Spies. I want my people to focus on external problems in Uphaven and that kind of place. Looking for these men of formerly of Loof, fallen Loofs, if you will, and just look for any problems they might be causing, and if necessary, call me.
Okay, your spies return with news.
Mm.
They found a number of corpses in the forest that they believe to be murdered by knights of a nearby castle, the former castle of the sheriff of Lud's Hall.
I
Sheriff,
see.
the royal sheriff.
And these men who were murdered, were they of Salisbury or?
They believe that they are from Gentian.
Oh, good. Problem solved. We will need to speak to those people in the castle later, though. I'll make a note of that. In fact, did you say Lud's Hall?
Lud's Hall. Yeah.
I got something quick too, Bob.
Okay.
How much money do I make from my castle?
I did establish that for you at the beginning there.
Oh, we did?
20
I missed it. I'm sorry.
28 for your upcoming year. So we're not including it for last year's go, but this year, your castle, using the new rules, your estate will be 28, and we'll determine what you get from there.
Huzzah!
That's not what you
Cool.
earn. That's what, or sorry, 25. 25, not 28. Vagon's 28, and Devices is 25.
25, and then my lifestyle cost goes up as well.
Well, so 25 isn't what you earn. 25 is the estate itself, and then you're contesting at the end of the year in stewardship to determine where you land from there. As a castellan, you are expected to live richly, so your default is rich.
Okay.
Sorry, no, that's not true. It's not a 50 or greater, and you're not titled, so your default is normal.
Cool.
So it'll cost you a multiplier. We'll go through those rules when we get there, but you'll have an opportunity based on your stewardship, and you do get a little bit of bonus to stewardship too, which is nice.
Very nice. Thank you, sir.
Both you guys you're likely to earn an ongoing yearly stipend, and then you can sacrifice glory to live less than that means, for various things. You will need to, if you're a castellan though, it means Durnford will need someone to look over it. You need to name a regent who will look over your lands, or a steward. So, and same with you in Winterbourne, Stoke.
Indeed. Yeah. My steward is already my brother, who's a polymath.
Yeah,
and
true.
I've got a stewardship of 13 anyway. So,
Okay.
I'm not going to hire anyone else because if I do, they'll get the Black Plague.
Right. So you're going to steward for your castle, and then your brother's going to steward for your lands, for your Winterbourne.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
And then we'll have to figure out what is happening in Durnford. Just writing out some notes for next session. It sounded like at the beginning of the session that Virgil had interest in finding out about this Alabaster Castle. Is that correct?
Yes, that is what he is considering his duty right now. Alternatively, if that is not an option for him to pursue, he would like to start justifying taking the Woodford, not militarily but politically.
Oh yeah, because you have some.
Because he has 2 years in a row now taken land from me.
We also have to find out if Virgil's going on a military campaign.
Yes, we also need to find. He's got a lot on his plate this year.
That one would take precedence for time wise. You wouldn't have time for the others.
Yes.
Right away.
Correct.
Okay.
As Rhodri says, can you be in two places at once?
Fucking watch him. His hubris will allow it.
You all receive messengers. We'll close out with this last piece of news. Kind of a cliffhanger. You receive news that another Saxon army has arrived on the shore.
Good
Joy.
fucking god.
It
Where now?
appears that these raiders have amassed an army in the recently liberated Caerwent. If you recall, Caerwent is mostly broken free of its former hold from Essex. And they've landed,
never catch a break.
and no one has any advanced knowledge beyond that.
God damn it.
Our life is strewn with cowpats from the devil's own satanic herd.
Okay. All right, guys, that was good stuff. I think we're gonna start gearing up here for some fun stuff for sure. All right, and then I'll probably get with you each just to figure out any of your personal plots. And one thing I know there's a lot of politics in Anarchy because you guys are, the previous ones I realized you guys are mostly just sent places by people. But you really are deciders here. But that also comes with sort of like we're in and out of character. You guys are deciding things, which I know isn't necessarily the most exciting content versus like just being sent away on wars and raids and conquests. So we should find some ways to spice that up a little bit. I also like the idea, Thomas. How many more weeks do you have for this?
Until I head to America, it's going to be a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 weeks until I will either be traveling or in the US. There will be one case, which could be an edge case, which would be the the 24th, because I'll be in California then.
Right.
But I don't know if I'll be there at an appropriate time. So 4 weeks.
Which part of... No, I'll ask you this later. I know you've told me, but I forgot.
I will say this. You're part of California.
I am. Huzzah!
Yes.
So just a quick note there, Thomas. If next week, for the audience, we are here with Gentlemen of the List. I would recommend Thomas raising that in the thread for Gentlemen of the List. That you're away, because AP might want to cancel. He doesn't usually run when someone in the other shows, anyways. He doesn't usually run when someone's away. So possible we'll. And then I'm gonna do something. I think in Wessex. I think it would be fun to do a session in Wessex while Thomas is away, where we bring in Mark's Saxon along with Dallin and Aaron Wee. I think that would be fun.
That would be super fun.
That'd be fun.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah. So, but just to give a little sight into that, we did get unfortunate confirmation that we will not have Colin for the 2 months that that Thomas is gone.
Alas.
I'm still playing around with what we're gonna do there. I do like the idea of a guest. We could always run it really early and bring in Zach for a 2-month stint if you wanted to. We just
Like Zach.
We'd have to join like an hour earlier, hour and a half earlier for it to make sense for him.
I can say that's something I can do. I don't know about Liam,
That is something that I can do as well. I'm free all day on Sundays. So
it's something that's changed very differently for me now that I don't share a room with my kid while he's playing PlayStation.
Minecrafters.
Yeah,
the Minecrafters.
So that's an option. Throw that out with Zach, and if that doesn't work, I'm thinking maybe a guest from another stream show or something like that, or a series, bring in a bunch of different guests. We'll see.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay, that's everything, guys. Let's go ahead and do some outros. We'll start with you, Thomas.
Hello, my name is Thomas. I have been Edrich, and it has been an absolute delight. I feel that we made a lot of progress politically and socially, that kind of thing. A lot of nice roleplay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you to all of our subscribers, and thank you to our biggest supporter, Jesus.
God.
You kill me.
But yeah, that's me. Exactly. I don't exist anywhere else, so
I didn't know what you were
going to
say with that last one. I was waiting to see what you were going to say. The big one?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you there. I was just looking at our handy-dandy Discord. By the way, do you know we have a Discord? Come check us out. Lots of fun stuff on there, such as memes, shit posting, as well as messages and announcements on whenever we go live, as well as new projects we're doing. We're doing new ones that are popping up every now and then, so keep an eye join the Discord. I also have a new thing that I will be announcing in due course, so do pay attention. Other than that, I have been Mark, aka the Cat's Meow, playing Sir Florence of Idmiston and the Baron of Axe, as well as his dear scheming brother, Sir Rhodri, Eater of Marvels. That's me.
Awesome. And Liam.
Hi everybody, I'm Liam. I played Sir Virgil of Durnford. I sometimes have things to plug. I'm not going to today because I kind of have to use the bathroom, so I'm gonna keep it brief.
Okay, and I will. I'll try to roll through this. I did want to note that I think it's hilarious. We lost a follower during. I love when we lose a follower mid game. Someone's like, "Fuck you guys in particular." Like, right?
This shit sucks.
I'm thinking.
I don't want to watch
like,
you
why
guys
did I follow
anymore.
this person again? Anyways, yeah.
You know, I was really into it right up until the point when they started talking about bone marrow, and then I wasn't into it anymore. As soon as they made a reference to the cinnamon challenge, I was like, "What is this?
I'm out.
2016?
I can't relate to this anymore.
I'm out."
All right, and I'm Bob. I run this game. I run a game set in Wales and another game set in the Summerland, both of which were discussed. We're gonna start seeing the worlds collide a bit and slash probably a fucking lot, honestly, in the next leg of Anarchy here. So if you like this show, feel free to catch this on Sundays, Summerland on Tuesdays, and Escavalon on Fridays. And next week we're back with Gentlemen of the List, which is a game about what Napoleonic battle texts.
Napoleonic, but if
Mech
they had
warriors.
mechs.
Yeah, mech warriors, 100%. Yeah. That's it. I'm gonna shut up now. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Take care.
Bye.
But
Farewell.